Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over some cute, fun ideas that we can make for the Christmas time, either using polymer clay or air dry clay. You will also find a link in the description box to the Pinterest board that I created, where I saved all of the ideas I found today. So all of the images that will be referenced today will be from Pinterest. And if they're not from Pinterest, it's either I made it or I found it on TikTok. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. So the first idea we have is decorating jar lids, either using air dry clay or polymer clay. There are lots of cute designs on the internet for this. I'm going to be showing you a couple that I saw on Pinterest. If you want to use air dry clay for this project, it is pretty straightforward. Just sculpt your clay around the lid, and you will probably need some glue as well. Now, when it comes to using polymer clay for this project, I would recommend doing a little bit more research because you would have to bake the lid in the oven instead of just leaving it out to dry. We just need to be very cautious about baking glass in the oven, and typically it is always recommended to bake your clay in the oven at 275 degrees Fahrenheit, usually for about 30 minutes. I would recommend to frequently monitor this while you're baking it. It also does depend on the thickness, so I would just be wary of that, but again, I would do a little bit more research on this before starting this project. And that is regarding polymer clay. With air dry clay, it's definitely a lot easier. Next is an advent calendar, and you can either make this for yourself for the holiday season, you can make it for one of your loved ones, that's up to you. If you're unaware of what an advent calendar is, it's basically usually a countdown till Christmas. Most of the time we do 25 days till Christmas, so you would start on December 1st, and then open up each mystery box every single day until you hit Christmas. You can also do a 12 days edition that's only 12 days with 12 different boxes, and you have something different inside every single box. And of course, for this project, you can get really creative with it. I think if I were to do it, I would probably do different little charms for every single day, probably order some cute boxes on Amazon. There's other places you can go to. Yeah, charms, figures, anything like that you can make out of clay would be super cute. And if you intend on making this a nice gift for somebody, you could spice it up a little bit and add some gift messages in every single box that the person would have to open for every single day. Like one day you could have an inspirational message, a cute, sweet, thoughtful message in every single box. And of course, for this project, you can use whatever clay you want. You can use air dry clay, you can use polymer clay, and you can create whatever comes to your mind. It really doesn't matter. Next is one that I discovered pretty recently, which I think is a really fun idea, and that's decorating a miniature dollhouse shelf. So with this project, you do have to find a miniature shelf, and if you are wondering where to get this miniature dollhouse shelf, I personally found one at Hobby Lobby in the dollhouse section, and they may have it at Michael's too, but I haven't checked. Also found these miniature Christmas trees, so I do plan on doing this project soon, and if you follow me on social media, you will see a lot of stuff about that very soon. What I plan on doing is painting the shelf with acrylic paint, and then making my little knickknacks using polymer clay. I'm going to be using my super jewelry glue to glue on the Christmas trees as well as the miniatures that I make. And I'm also in the process of trying to find some miniature garland to go with it. Also am going to try finding some candles, maybe some lights. I might have to make the candles out of clay. We're going to have to see. I do want to light it up in some way. But again, if you are looking for some inspiration, there's a lot of ideas on Pinterest. And again, if you follow me on social media, I will be posting that soon. And you can either use polymer clay or air dry clay for this project, of course, because you're just making little decorations to go with it. If you want to make little miniatures or knickknacks for this, I would recommend polymer clay, but this also is doable with air dry clay as well. Next idea, especially if you're into air dry clay, you've probably seen before, I've talked about it, and that's tic-tac-toe boards. I know I talked about it for the fall time, but I wanted to make an inspiration for the Christmas time. And obviously this idea is most recommended for air dry clay. Now air dry clay is definitely the most recommended for doing this project. I think personally it's a lot easier, but I know people who do with polymer clay as well. My favorite designs are by Amanda Eve. I know I've posted them before, but I think her tic-tac-toe boards are just over the top and they just look amazing. I love her hot cocoa idea where she did the hot cocoa cup as the base, and then as the little game pieces, she did marshmallows and peppermints. Also love the one that's a gingerbread house, and I also love the idea of doing like a cookie sheet or a little cookie Santa plate, and then the game pieces are little cookies. I think that would be such a cute idea. Next one is, of course, a classic Christmas thing, and that's ornaments. Making ornaments out of clay is great if you want to spice up your Christmas tree, you want to gift it to somebody, you want to do a little craft night with your friends. If you're a teacher, you could do this with your kids. I would recommend using air dry clay for this project, especially if you want to make it on a larger scale, probably about like this big or something. If you want to make tiny little ornaments for like a tiny little Christmas tree, of course, polymer clay would be great for that, but it's up to you. I also think polymer clay would be easier if you're trying to do a more complex 2D design. When I was younger, I used to be obsessed with the ornaments made by My Joyful Moments. I was obsessed with these ornaments when I was a kid. I'm honestly still obsessed with them. It's actually how I got into polymer clay. I love the style of these ornaments. Beautiful, complex 2D design. Little animals, little Santa Clauses, gingerbread men. I love the way it looks. But if you want to go a little bit more simple, I would recommend air dry clay. If you already have some cookie cutters for the Christmas time, you can just roll out your air dry clay, cut out your shapes, just kind of like making sugar cookies, let them dry for a couple of days, and then use some acrylic paint to paint whatever design you want over that. So this next idea is one of my personal favorites. It's something that I've created before. I love seeing people make it, and that is making gingerbread houses, specifically with polymer clay, which you can do with air dry clay too, but the technique I'm going to be referring to today is with polymer clay. So all of the designs that I'm showing you are from artists that follow the classic gingerbread house making design, except for you're using polymer clay. So you're making the 2D walls, you're cutting them out, and then you're constructing the house all together, which can be a little bit difficult, I'm not gonna lie. I am gonna be linking in the description box a link to Polina Creations video on how to make a gingerbread house. She explains it a lot better than I do, and she does a great job, and it's very straightforward, pretty easy to follow. If you are curious to know what artists are using to make that fake liquid icing design, we're either using white liquid Sculpey, or it's Kato Poly Clay, which is what I use to make my clear icing, or it's a Fimo Deco Gel. I would say that the liquid Sculpey has that classic icing consistency. If you want something a bit thicker, all you have to do is just take some white clay that's well conditioned, mix it up into the liquid Sculpey, and you have a thicker consistency. You can play around with this. And next up, we've got trinket dishes, which is typically created using a flat layer of air dry clay and then cutting out your desired shape. And of course, you can make this as simple or as detailed as you would like. I think my personal favorite design is when you cut out the shape of a gingerbread man, really big, and then you shape it to look more like a trinket dish, let it dry for a couple of days, and then paint it with some acrylic paint, make it look like a gingerbread man. I think that design's really cute. And if you are ever curious about what varnishes that artists use, personally, for my air dry clay creations, I use Monte Marte clay varnish. Do not recommend using that varnish on polymer clay. I have found it to get really, really tacky. It has only worked when I use it on air dry clay, so be careful if you're interested in that. Now, most of the time, artists use UV resin. I always avoid resin. I would say UV resin definitely looks the best, and it is the most durable. Next is my personal favorite, and that is making a snow globe. For this project, you either need air dry clay or polymer clay, and you're going to use either a mason jar, a plastic jar, baby food jar, whatever you can do to DIY this. It just has to be clear, that's the biggest thing. Preferably something that's dome shaped. If you don't have something that's in the shape of a dome, that's perfectly fine. Also, we need a jar with a lid because you need to be able to connect the clay sculpture that you create onto the lid. So with that, you're going to need some very, very strong glue. I'd also recommend probably getting some sandpaper so you can sand down everything. You can glue a lot better. Of course, when it comes to sculpting this, you can make whatever you want. It's up to you. Now, when it comes to filling up the jar, there's two ways you can go about this. If you want to fill it up, have it that nice snowfall effect, you're going to need part water and you're going to need part glycerin, and you're going to either need some fake snow or some glitter. Now, I will say my only con to this is that it will make your sculpture look a little bit distorted, but it will be a really cool snowfall effect, so that's cool. But if you really want to focus more on how the sculpture looks, maybe not fill it up. Maybe just leave it by itself. I know a lot of people do that too. I think I've done that in the past when I've made snow globe sculptures, so it's just up to you. I think it's such a cute idea though. I even love, and I'm trying to research how to do this, when people will put like little LED lights into it, make it light up. I wish there was a way where I could figure out how to do like the continuous snowfall look, where like you just turn on a button and it's just like a continuous snowfall. Those kinds of like lanterns and snow globes are my absolute favorite, and my dream one day would be to learn how to make that. Like, that would be so cool. And moving on to the next idea, this is one I've talked about before, but I think this goes really hand in hand with Christmas time, and that's candle holders. This is typically sculpted using air dry clay. I think it's really cute, very festive. You can get as detailed with this as you want, make it very simple. There are some different ways to go about this design. If you want to have it with a candle that's one of the long stick ones, and you need to have a little hole at the bottom for it, little crater, you could just sculpt something cute around it at the base. Here's a cute idea for a little present holder with the candle on the top. I think that's super cute. Another cute idea I just thought of like right now is making the base presents and then finding a candle that looks like a Christmas tree. I think that would be really cute. I just thought about that. If I end up finding an image later of this, I'm gonna put it right here, and if not, like, I'm sorry, but I just thought that would be a really cute idea. And the other idea is for a tea light holder. You could always make something that looks like a wreath, maybe a mistletoe, also a melted snowman, which I think is really cute. And my other favorite design is when you do something hollow, like creating a gingerbread house, and then you put a candle inside of it. You could do a fake candle, doesn't matter, but I think this is so cute. I love the way it glows, lights up, put it by your desk side. That makes for like super cute decoration. So I love these ideas. And next, I'm just going to be going briefly over some of the ideas that I always talk about in my clay idea videos. That's regarding jewelry, accessories, keychains, bracelets, all of that good stuff, charms, magnets. I'm going to mention this in all of my clay idea videos, but it will just slightly differ depending on the holiday I'm talking about or the theme. There are tons of super cute jewelry ideas. If you need jewelry inspiration from me, I've got ideas for you that you can check out. If you need some charm ideas, I'm going to be putting out a video soon, or maybe it's already out by now, and I will link it in the description box of some really cute Christmas charms that we made using polymer clay. I also got a candy cane tutorial inside the video if you're interested in that. My favorite besides jewelry is magnets. Magnets are super cute. I love it how people are getting into the magnets. Make some Christmas ones, make it cute. Do a little cookie plate with some cookies on it. Get creative with it. Also think these make really good gift ideas for people for the holidays. Just putting it out there. And speaking of clay ideas, very, very soon I'm actually going to be putting out another clay idea video just regarding some cute, unique handmade gifts. And it is also very possible that later on I am going to be leaving in the description box a link to that video from this video. So those are all of the ideas I found on Pinterest, all of the things that I've come up with that I am sharing with you today. I hope you guys love these ideas. I love getting festive for Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday, and I think celebrating it and making decorations for it, making gifts for people, it just gets me so excited, and I know it excites a lot of other people too. If you enjoy these videos, you love these clay ideas, check out the other videos in this playlist all about some different clay ideas. I made one for the fall time, I'm about to put out a gift idea version, made one for polymer clay, and then at some point soon I'm going to be making one regarding air dry clay. And if you are interested in learning more about polymer clay, that is what my entire channel is regarding, and I have a lot of tutorials out that you can follow. Got some cute Christmas ones coming out soon. Make sure to check out the Christmas charms video. That's a lot of fun. And I know it's a bit early to say this because it's only the middle of November, but happy holidays everybody, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!